Hello, everyone. This is the Voyager GP Centrifuge Decklist quote-unquote stream. I am joined by
TVP over here.
Hello, Kogane here.
Stasis, who is currently muted. Let us
Hey, I'm
begin.
also here.
Oh, there's Stasis. Okay, whose decks do you want to start with?
You want to just go
I think the funniest one to start with would have been mirrors, but I think starting on the left with silver is correct here.
Okay. So, Silver. I am streaming, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Silver's on blue-black Voyager tempo.
I was pretty confused as to why the ninja stuff got added to this deck.
Yeah, the blue-black control version of this deck seemed extremely strong, and it feels like the sneak stuff might be kind of diluting that. But I don't know. Read the Wing Beats is good. Sneak is good. I think this is.
I played against this list in League, and one of the things that I'll note about this list is that it feels good, like it's strong into aggro, but it is 100% losing to some control lists that I've seen thus far.
I think the big card that we'll be monitoring is Maralai in here, because Maralai seeing more play. Big thing that confused me about this deck is, what the hell is Icorian Sky Shark doing in here?
I mean, it is just a 2-mana 2/2 flash flying, but it has
That's
additional
true.
packs.
That's
it's not
true.
bad.
I will agree, though.
What
that
is this flavor text?
Well, Melodia would like to write it. I think that's very simple.
Disappointing show continues to be strong, even post-nerf. Just being able to trade roughly on rate to any card is very powerful. Town Busybody, that's not the right version of Town Busybody.
I'm assuming then, yeah, we have the whenever it attacks surveil one, right?
Oh, I know why. It's the formats bug. Hold on, let me go fix that and it'll be up in a few minutes. I forgot to do this last update too when we noticed in the Decklist stream.
Some things change.
Okay. Anything else to say about this deck? What are...
The one thing I will say is that I do kind of feel like the mana base is a little greedy. Just a little. It's not like the worst thing in the world, but I'm not seeing how there's 6 spires total here.
What is Larisi copying?
That's a good question.
Copies... Ooh, no idea. Naval Diplomacy?
That's not a cast.
That's not cast.
Wait, I thought this was spell or ability. Oh, this is spell. Yeah, what does this copy?
I think Lyrisi is here because it is a 1 mana flash flyer.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's it. Which is interesting for the record.
There's, I mean, I guess
it's
we
not
lost
a rogue.
Old Nightwing, but like...
It is very cool how both of the ninjas are humans to work with Vanaja. That's a nice synergy.
It is.
Vanaja just like keeping your opponent off cards is really good. It was rough against me.
Or you mean like it messed you up?
Yeah.
There, yeah. Okay, because that other sentence, no. Negate here in the board, unfair birth in the board. This feels like this is strong enough against the right matchups.
So we're on Parcel over True Blood, which is interesting.
I think that's just because Silver has understood that they're not going to have enough mana to True Blood onto.
Yeah, being able to hold up mana is like really important here, so it's likely the correct pick. We're seeing
also,
Devious Cutthroat.
Cutthroat. This is a card that I figured would be decent, but doesn't read as that good. I don't doubt that it's good, but not like I'm not gonna say this is like a card that I would be excited to play.
Yeah, it's like
Edge is a human. Edge is a human for synergies with Benaja, as we already mentioned. But it's not like the card that I feel like wins you the game.
I don't think it's good, to be honest. Like
The thing else I'm curious about is how we're casting the Transcend card from the Sanctum. Are there dragons in this deck?
Yes, there's 2 in the side.
Ah, okay.
Spymaster. Yep.
As I was
Also,
saying,
Maralai. Also, Maralai can cast opponent's dragons.
Sure.
That is funny, actually. I have stolen your dragon. I will now cast Heron Grand Transcendent in order to remove your dragon. Thank you. Funny. To me, this is a funny deck. I think that it might be good into the right matchups, but I'm not sure how this survives very specific matchups. Like, I don't see anything that answers multiple threats at once. This reads like you just have to keep playing into. Actually, yeah. Wait, where is the card draw here? I guess it's Marowak,
Benaja
right?
kind of acts as card advantage. Delta Lookout directly draws cards. Read the Wing Beats
Read the
cantrips to
Wing
make the
Beats.
token.
Yeah. Read the Wing Beats seems incredible.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, I will agree that that's probably the card that keeps this deck together. Which probably means that Silver should not keep hands without it or without something comparable.
I mean, there's not a
Right.
single card in here that isn't a ninja that you can't just flash in.
Okay, I've updated the formats, Jason. In a couple minutes, we should have actually proper cards showing up again. Yay. Okay. What are our
Time
overall
for
thoughts
Celeste.
on this deck?
I feel like it's over-teched against lower end decks.
Yes.
I need to
Which-
PvP down.
It seems like a pretty basic tempo deck, which usually fares pretty well against those sort of slower, like low to the ground decks that dirtle a bit. But yeah, if you face like a mid-range deck where you need to deal with every threat, you're probably just going to get ground out of the game.
Yep. Okay, moving on. We have Kagane's deck. So Kagane, now is your time to talk.
So I've been noticing the average basic land total of decks seem to be hovering around 6. And I was like, what if I abused that fact to just destroy all of the lands?
Yep.
So we have 20 ways of destroying lands in this deck. View Drifter, we have Shifting Landscape, we have Hostile Pillars and Field of Ruin, and we have Life Nar. I'm not counting Bombardment in this, but because it's but Bombardment does get rid of lands, but it's not controlled, so I'm not counting it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're basically trying to leverage the fact that our opponents don't have that many basics in their deck. We're trying to take all of their lands. We are not playing too many creatures. Only playing creatures that either are land destruction or just are generally the good cards.
Herald of Storms.
And because of that, we are high on removal. We have 2 Prithian Jet. We have 6 2-drop removal spells. We have our board wipes at 4 and some more single target removal. And then Herald of Storms and Sundown grant us access to more cards.
Yep. I mean, the list is good. When you first see this list, it just looks like a pile of red cards, and then you see it played, and it actually seems crazy.
There is a lot of missed opportunity cost. We could have included the indestructible land.
Yes.
That,
which is Mullen Sepul.
If our opponent isn't greedy and is running 10 basics, we could have played Mullinsville
Shifting
as
landscape to ramp. It's
to
pretty
ramp.
cool.
We would have 8 ramp pieces in our deck if we actually included the land. Then we could like play bombardment and Gnar and faster. But too late, I guess. Whoops.
I am
Yeah.
curious about the choice of Wilborn's Flame over Torch.
Torch is a sorcery.
Yeah, so I'm just curious about why you chose the instant speed over the guaranteed 4 damage and exile. It's like a small decision, but I'm just curious about it.
I just wanted to have more options as to what to remove. Like if I keep up 2 mana, they might play more cards, and then I might target the one I need to remove more.
Okay.
We do have the 2 torches in the sideboard as well, if we do need the guaranteed damage.
Like usually instants get comparatively better the more of them you have in your deck. Like the more modal it actually becomes when you hold up your mana.
We've got like what 6, 8,
Got Subvert the Light,
like
Pythidian
quite a
Jet.
few. It's not like a control deck amount of instants, but it's like a solid amount.
We have 10 instants.
My worry is that they're all removal. So it's like it might not be exactly Wilborn's Flame, but if you hold up mana, you know it's going to be dealing damage to a creature.
No, because we could spend our mana on our lands to destroy other lands.
Sure.
Or we could cycle our land cycling, our land with cycling, rather.
Yeah.
So there are other things we can do. Like it's not always removal, but like holding up mana telegraphs that we have removal, but we might not actually have removal. So
yeah.
If we want our opponent to play around removal, we could just hold up mana.
Vayne is a fun include in the side.
Yeah, it's if we need to be a more of an aggressive deck, we just do Vayne, and Vayne has some funny shenanigans with like Gnar or like Melting Pot.
Do want to shout out the 4 back standoff in the main. Don't think we've been seeing red main decking board wipes for a while now, so it's interesting to see it come back.
Yeah, this deck isn't looking to play this board too much. We want to remove the creatures on it.
Yep. It's also the selection.
Yeah, like our first matchup is against Harver, which has exactly 2 creatures. So it will be interesting to see how much creature removal becomes useless.
Yep. 1, 2, 6. Hey, yeah, you've got quite a bit of creature removal in here, so Subvert can go face though.
What is Herver's basic land count looking like?
Rough.
5.
Rough. And 1 island.
Well, there you go. This is going to be draw the right half of the deck sort of matchup.
Yeah.
The goal of our matchup is to keep Herver off of blue mana.
Sundown in the Sanctum.
Yeah, it's like the red Sanctum suite isn't particularly good, so you just run Sundown.
Yeah. Okay. Any final thoughts on the deck? I'll take that as a no. Let's move on. On to Mirror's deck.
When will the scourge of looping removal?
Oh my god. Also,
this
the
has to
deck
be the funniest
container is
title ever.
crazy.
It's like
I remember
So-
playing against Gradius in Field Test. That was a funny card.
Do you remember when
Again,
Gradius
there-
had haste?
Do you remember when Gradius didn't care what type it was?
I do remember that.
Okay, so
That
Mirror's
was
deck.
terrifying.
Let's talk about Mirror's deck. So, anyone want to talk about Mirror's deck to start us off?
Okay, so I could actually give some insights on this deck. First off, what you need to know is that this deck does, in fact, have an infinite. And by that I mean it is allowed to have infinite mana, assuming that the right things happen.
Assuming you
But
draw
until
like a
that
6-card combo.
Right. Well, okay. The way that this deck works is that unending exploration is like the card advantage of the deck, because as it turns out, if you have, say, Marie, for example, on the battlefield, any mana value 3 cards that are in your sanctum are playable, right? That includes, the Tide Rock Passage, and should you throw anything else, yeah, that one as well, Concealing Ruins. Should you throw a 3-drop in there somehow, you also have access to that. Now, here's the funny thing. So, the graveyard exists in Voyager as this idea of card advantage, except Mirror is also playing 2 copies in the main deck of a graveyard hate card called Groaning Lullaby. Now, you might have noticed that if Groaning Lullaby is on the battlefield, you have Unending Exploration on the battlefield, and you also have a 3-drop. Yes, you were able to play Sever the Oracle as many times as you have mana. Funny thing about that, Mirith is running layers in this deck. If you've never read the other side of the layer, they exile a basic land you control and then tap for 2 mana. As you can guess, with a card called Sever the Oracle, tapping for 2 mana is good.
Yeah, so the idea is that you sever the Oracle, repeatedly cast it from Sanctum. That's the combo half of the deck. But also, you can just
It's just a good deck.
get stuff into the Sanctum and then pull it back out, or just use Unending Exploration as an insane CA engine, because, the absolute worst case of Unending Exploration is you have Search for Escanta, you've drawn 3 lands and gotten an Enlightening Crescent. That's like the fail case.
Yeah. You are allowed to play lands off Unending Exploration, and that just keeps you on par with your opponent when it comes to land drops. Which, against the control list, is good, actually. It's probably going to matter against Kagane when it comes to Ponza listing, but,
So you probably noticed the deck name, and yeah, the way this deck loops removal is mainly through Gradius, I believe, right?
Yes, Gradius puts away your counter spells, which you should be casting, and then proceeds to allow you to, continue to do that while also applying pressure.
Also, Mass Mutation can put some of your creatures into the Sanctum to be recast, such as your Gradius option.
Yeah, this card has originally passed by me as a card that I thought was bad, because I was convinced that it was bad by multiple people. I have since learned that
bad.
I
this
have
card
since
is
learned
not
that
bad. The reason no one played this card is because it's silver.
Also, it's
Is-
fragile.
Yes,
it's a 1/1, and it also, if your opponent has any flyers, it's not great.
Well, of course, if you just have a deck that can clear those, which
Also,
this deck does seem to be able to do.
Very, very funny coincidence. The gun in center mass is pointing directly towards Sample Skimmer in the deck page. If you think about it,
it wasn't a
Sample
suggestion.
Skimmer reminds me a little bit of Kineos, if you know what that is.
Nope.
No.
You nerf Kineos.
Okay.
It's
card,
a
I
revolution
assume.
card. Yeah.
How
It's
does
been
one
nerfed.
spell that?
Well, you need to do is rotated because it's from Zangief's set in Reds. And it's KYNA iOS. Sure, yeah. So Kineos used to be a Titan trigger where you look at the top 5 and grab an enchantment. But basically, Kineos is just it represents 3 mana Titan trigger card advantage engines. And that seems a lot like Sample Skimmer in the sense that it comes down, dodges sorcery speed removal by drawing a card the turn it enters, and then continues to threaten more card advantage.
Yeah, drawing from. I think the big thing, one of the other big things holding this card back is like, you don't just want to be drawing a card. You want to have utility and draw from Sanctum if possible, which this deck is able to abuse.
What I am
There's just, like,
noticing, by the
additional
way,
upside on it.
yeah, the part that I find very funny about this card is the other part that kind of went under my radar as being good. Was that, like, yes, gaining for life is actually good.
Yeah.
Also, randomly gaining for life is good, especially in a list that does not have life gain other than Sample Skimmer.
It came in relevant in Mir's game against Cadentry, which, although Mir went 0-2, the life gain stopped Mir from dying early by like multiple turns from the bit that I saw.
Yeah. Which, yeah, we are in the deck list, view and all this. People have already played some games. Well, okay, I think it is just literally just Mir and Cadentry, yeah. Which probably points us towards Cadentry's deck next, thinking about that.
Okay, any final thoughts on Mir's deck before we look at the deck sit? Main deck negate.
Really cool combo. I like it.
Oh,
yeah.
Also Lithify. Lithify is really, really good. And just people have mostly been jamming silver and aggro lists, so seeing less aggressive lists getting to play this card has been like interesting. Because I did not know this existed.
Yeah.
It's basically like what's it called? Silver maddened by hunger.
Oh, would you say they see this?
I said Wandering Travelers seems like an unbelievable card, by the way. It seems like it should be like a stock 4 of in every silver list.
It did see play prior, but it didn't see nearly as much play as it should have. And Mir wanted to prove that this GP.
Wandering Travelers was not very good in the... Because you have to remember, like 90% of all silver decks built before this were like silver aggressive vaguely tokens. Which, like, yes, this is good in that deck, but you don't actually get to use the... It really was not better than the other options you had.
This was before the Luminous 0-3 got nerfed down to no longer making a silver token. That was a time. Oh my.
Yeah, now silver has drifted to more being like actually more than just pure like tokens aggro. So we get to see cards like this that are actually really good to play for.
It should have, in retrospect, I do agree with Stasis. If this card should have been seeing more play, I think the reason why people didn't want to play it is because they just assumed that it died to everything.
Well,
white wise.
It's because we had 2 mana 4/3s and 2 mana 4/4s in Trailblazer and Desecrate respectively.
Yeah.
That is also true.
It's just like, hey, why would I play the 2 mana 2/1 that makes a token when I could either be like making 2 tokens or like getting other advantage instead? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. This card just seems unbelievable to me. Like, it's overstated, hard to kill at parity, and has play against like slower control decks.
If you're never holding up mana, the synergy for a token is way more valuable than +1 power in the majority of those tokens aggro decks, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
I think Stasis is on our right track. This card, like I said, it should have been seeing more play.
It should have been seeing more play, but that's in the sense of like people should have been playing other silver decks.
That's also true, but this is also true in the limited environment when the set was being tested. This is a card that went under the radar consistently.
Yeah, but your limited testers are bad.
This is also
TVP's limited testers are impressive. Okay, moving on.
Yes.
You said we wanted to look at Cadentry's next?
Yeah.
The Cadentry's deck just beat Mir's. Notably, this is actually Mir's deck that Mir gave to Cadentry. So, Mir beat themselves, I guess.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So this is the enchantments deck.
Deck list. The decklist says that it's 4-color. Is that actually true?
Well, it's
It has Shadow of Grace and
Shadow of Grace for blue, and I think there's a silver splash
Exhaust
somewhere.
Desire. Exhaust Desire is the
Also
black.
negates in the sideboard.
No, this is a banned deck. It's just listing it as having black because of Exhaust Desire, which you
It
cast
has
off a
no red in it,
drifting.
so it's not. There's no red in it, so it's not Bant Grixis, which I think is a bit sad.
Anyway,
Kalia. Let's talk
yeah,
about
the
Kalia.
flags ripped to yesterday. Oh. Kalia, yes. This is a card that we've talked about as being like a very powerful card in the sense that it converts your rinky-dink enchantments into like very real attackers, as well as blockers, of course, too. But the funniest thing about this card is that originally these two modes were reversed, and it turns out that white no longer gets that effect multiple times, aka whenever you cast a non-creature spell. In this case, it was enchantment spell, draw a card. That is not something that white gets to do anymore. So when it was flipped over, it didn't occur to me at the time when we were doing the changes, but Ward 2 on this card is the reason why you still get to do some very silly things.
in Mur's
We've
opinion, back when Mur was using the old elk, they said
lately
that
called.
the elk
Yeah.
is stronger than Kalia.
We're talking about
Well,
the
it's new
2/3
Kalia
with
versus old. It's new Kalia versus old elf. Oh, damn! This does
Lake
have a
Leaf Elk.
change
There we
log.
go. Yeah. It did in fact have an ETB that drew you a card if you control 2 or more enchantments.
Why is the
That
change
was
log
removed.
missing on this one? I'll have to figure that out. It doesn't matter. I'll figure it out later. I always say that, and then I never
Yeah.
fix all the
So
change logs and stuff.
it's all right.
I'm pretty sure this was in
The
the big
list
balance patch,
here.
though. So
Yeah, the list here focusing for Tyrants, for Shadow of Grace. Shadow of Grace has a lot of play with Tyrants, has a lot of play with the just like massive number of cards that you want to flicker because it is a flicker spell. But also it is just like a strong card if you get to play it for its full 5 mana,
retreat to
taking
the
a card
border
off the
hole.
field until it leaves. Yeah,
Retreat
retreat
to the
is
border
I would
hole
argue is
continues
like
to
the
be
star
a
of the show
thing.
here.
Yeah, I mean it's only a 2 of, but like it's so crazy.
Yeah, most cannon
I think
equipment only flicker creatures.
Yeah, I think when you are able to play retreat, even if it's only 2 copies worth, you already kind of win that turn. In enough scenarios, I would argue.
Binding Decision is an edict. Rapture's Joy lets you pursue Wonder to get into Shimmering Sky and all that kind of jazz. Consecrated Farmland makes tokens, even when and those tokens can get flickered by Border Hole as well, if you want. Prithite Summons is both a flicker and remove spell. Um, it's Prithite Summons. We love Prithite Summons. Call of the King, I think, is the most interesting inclusion.
I personally think Long Night's Rest would be stronger here. Like you lose a bit of tempo for just like constant bodies.
Long Night's Rest is not flickerable, though, notably. But yeah, like, oh my god, Long Night's Rest. This just turning out a 3/3 every turn or every 2 turns if you don't pay mana is really good.
Holy
So,
shit.
yep.
This card is insane. Wow.
Femia was good in the game against Mir. With it did get pithing needled, but it was able to like get in for a bit of damage. Also, we saw the what's its name? This thing actually get used. Becomes a 3/1 unblockable on the backside.
Very good card, yeah. It's a card that you sleep on a lot. I think it is much stronger than I am giving it credit for. It's just hard to find a blue-green list that also wants this land.
Yeah.
Oh, but the sanctum is in the sideboard. Yeah.
Sanctum is in the sideboard. Yeah. Just noticed. This card is actually very relevant against Mir. Just not getting countered. Turns out beats counter spells. I know, crazy.
The fact that we also don't have an unsubstantiate variant right now does give this a lot more power. Unsubstantiate, for the people who don't know, is a 1 and a blue instant
It returns
that says
a spell to
return
hand.
target spell, or I believe it also hits creature, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Remand
it just-
is the more remand is the more common. But this does not get
Remand
around
does
can't be
counter.
countered. Yeah, this does not get around can't be
Unacceptable.
countered.
Reprieve
That's why.
does get
Yeah,
around, can't be countered.
Yeah. Retrieve is
Yeah,
cringe.
smaller creature, and then retrieve is. Well, I won't disagree.
Reprieve
Yeah, no,
is hard.
unsubstantiate, notably not here, meaning that a card like Pound into Splinters just is much better into blue lists. in
Oh,
general.
speaking of Reprieve, what if Mir had Feldenberry? Well, no, not what the flash creature that has the thing. It was
Nice.
something scout.
It had Evoke. I know what you're talking about. It's two white silver, 2/3. When it enters, return up to one target spell to its owner's hand.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Moraire Shimmer Patrol.
Yeah, this could have been interesting.
You
Does
can
Warrior Control count as a 2-mana 2/3? Asking for a friend.
no.
No. TVP, you've already have enough 2-mana 2/3s. You're the designer with the most of them. You don't need to print
Anyway,
more.
with Groaning Lullaby and the enchantment, you could just spend 2 mana to bounce all of your opponent's spells with a single
Good.
Shimmer Patrol.
Good. Yeah, that probably was worth including in here because you don't need an extra permanent with mana value.
Seeing this Cat and Trees deck was played in last GP, there's not too much that's different. It's just that the environment is a little
strong
bit
term.
different. Yeah.
So, Mir did not play a single game with this deck last GP. The first round they had a bye. The second round the game was not played, and the third round Mir was missed the scheduled time and conceded.
Yep. So the funny thing is, by the technical records, this is a 0-1 list because there was
No,
only
it's
one game
1-1.
that was
It's
officially
1-1.
It was-
It's 1-1 because you
Oh,
win a
right.
bye.
By official things, it's 1-1, so therefore it's a perfect 50-50, which makes it the perfect thing to bring.
Cat and Trees 1-0 with it. So
Yeah. So now it's 75. Yeah.
okay.
Or wait,
Next
66.
is
You know what I mean?
Okay. Let's try to go slightly faster.
I forgot was Zengi was
Because we
playing.
spent a long time on it. Zengi's on ninjas. Zengi's also on shifting landscape. And Zengi is ploy abuse. Zengi is finally playing sneak ploy, you know, the terrifying deck that everyone's been talking about.
Yeah,
This is my round 1 matchup.
This is the deck
I'm
I'm
so sorry
most
for your
scared
loss.
of this GP.
Specifically because I think Wisp Weaver here is like one of the strongest cards that you could be playing in this list.
Wisp Weaver?
Due
Or
to-
no, Wisp
Speaker.
Speaker, you mean.
my bad. Yeah, Wisp Speaker. This just is one of those cards that just, I think, controls enough of the game, just being a 1-mana 2/1 that comes with so much upside, that I'm not sure how most decks beat this.
If you drop this on
Just
one,
after-
ploy it, and like put in like if you drop this on one, ploy it, and put in any of your sneak things, you now have like a sneak thing on board, a 1/1, and a wisp speaker back in hand to draw a card later, or just be a body.
You don't have
Crazy
the
start.
1/1 on the size.
Oh wait, right, because it
Yeah,
doesn't
1/1's
die.
only when it dies.
Right, never mind.
Which is still fine because the secret is that if they spend removal to kill your Wisp Beaver, you're still pretty happy actually.
I think wisp speaker is like not the turn 1-2 thing you want to sneak play. You want to get this out where you could actually make use of the exiled card. So more like turn 3. So if you hit a land, you could play it. If you hit something else, you could maybe play it. Like, it's still a Savannah Alliance that does so much in here. View Drifter's your other 1-drop player, just kills their lands.
In terms of
Like,
what you can see.
TVP, were you saying something? Because your audio, like, cut out for me there.
I entered a wind tunnel, so out of respect for the viewers, I decided to mute.
Okay. Yeah, so the scariest card in the deck is Abrasive Trailblazer.
Yep.
You sneak
I
it.
don't know how I beat this card.
You make 2 1/1s repeatedly, and you just sneak it again.
Well, your opponent knows that Trailblazer has to be blocked, so it's unlikely that you will be sneaking Trailblazer. However, you can sneak the token.
Yeah.
Also,
that too.
like, if you block Trailblazer, they get 2 1/1s, and you still go up on value because you're trading with a 2/1.
Yep.
That would have died anyway.
Like, you have to block it because it's a sneak deck, and you
Yes.
can't allow it to go back into the hand.
Lost at Sea exists as well. To just make a copy of something in the reserves, or just be a bounce spell.
Seems cool. I like it.
So with View Drifter, it
one of the
looks like
funniest
Zangief's
pseudo-mana.
moved into the pawns some more with Shifting Landscape, so that you can actually kind of basic check people more, similar to what Kagane's deck is doing.
I think this is here more for the utility lands that exist, rather than trying to basic people out.
True, but it definitely helps that you have your View Drifters and this. The greedier decks might get basic checked.
I do think Shifting Landscape isn't great unless you're specifically trying to do the thing.
I agree. I don't think this should be a main deck card here. I think you should be focusing on the aggro plan and then side it in.
We have Mother of Vance in here. We do have Mother of
Actually,
Vance in here.
focusing back on that, I think the reason why Zengi is playing it is for the thing that I assume it is, which is the fact that you can draw a card from your Sanctum. And so I think Zengi is trying to prove Sundown in this GP. I'm starting to think that might be the case.
I think this is a very weird use of Sundown. That seems bad to me.
I also agree. If it was for that purpose, there are plenty of other good red cards that do this.
If you want to be like, get a different card out of your Sanctum, set up a Sundown, just play a card that drafts so you're not 50-50ing yourself for no reason. And like, yes, drawing the Sundown isn't like horrible, but you would much prefer to either just have it guaranteed and not have to draw the Shifting Landscape to set it up, or to play something that guarantees you a card plus a Sundown setup, I think. Also, hello, Truk. It appears
Agreed.
Truk has appeared. Zangi has discovered Crackling Serpent, so
Oh no.
yeah. Oh no. No like sneak
Yeah,
top end in here though. No Marilize, no takers.
I am very concerned about this deck's ability to deal with things that go over the top of it. But luckily, he doesn't have to deal with any of that in round 1. So at least there's that.
Burnout and Subvert are also just solid, like small removal spells. This isn't leaning into the like tempo counterspell angle as much as the old Ninjas deck, but like
Yeah,
it still
that's what I'm
does
concerned about.
removal.
It does small removal, but the lack of counterspells feels very meaningful against most decks.
Yes, it does have negate in the side, but and denied by nature.
Mhm. It has 8 counterspells on the side.
Life Runar is also in the side. I presume if Zangy wants to hit a deck with a low basic count. Also, Eye Scorched.
Maybe this list is secretly a transformative sideboard list where you suddenly start playing Ponza. Maybe that's what's happening.
Who knows? What's
I
our
think
land count here?
the main game plan is playing Ponza, and then you side into a counterspell deck.
21 lands. So, I mean, makes sense with this curve. You really top out at 3 because you're not casting these for 3, 4, or 5. Okay, I'm going to assume no one has additional thoughts on this deck. Moving on to my deck. So I stole Kagane's deck because this deck looked very powerful and I did want to see it represented this GP. So Kagane's Silver Red aggro deck, if I pull it up from last GP, almost won, but then didn't win because I decked a Shattering of Mine. So, you know, and that deck did receive like multiple nerfs in what's it? This thing? What got nerfed in here? Oh
Uh,
no, Deepborn.
Deepborn,
Just Deepborn.
just Deepborn.
I thought we nerfed something else in here. No, okay. Well, yeah. It's a very similar shell without Deepborn. You cut some of the reserve stuff, and also get Paladin Scavenger. It's still ploy abuse with Trailblazer, View Drifter, Wisp Speaker, and you also get a Feign deck to do ploy even more. Yeah, it's ploy abuse. I don't know what else to say. Tagane, do you have additional thoughts since you built the deck?
Well, the reserves cards were cut because, like, yes, the reserves package becomes more powerful the more reserves you have, but Call of the Rose and Gaze, uh, if you only have those, they're actually pretty slow, all things regarded. So I just said, if we have to survive in some form in Paladin Scavenger, we could just deploy more and be faster and hopefully not need the longevity of Gaze.
Yeah. Kindred Spirits is also just absolutely insane card. Abrasive Trailblazer continues to be the boogeyman of the GP. Which, not surprising.
2 mana for free, good.
You went attack. Good. Mouth cold.
Wait, I think something's messed up here, because isn't one of the Sundowns in the Sanctum for this?
Yes.
6, 11. Okay, it looks like I miscounted slots and accidentally put it in the sideboard, so that's going to be a major loss. That is unfortunate.
So,
Wait,
isn't the same thing? Well, never mind. Actually,
4, 2, 3.
You have 14 sideboard cards and 1 Sanctum card.
If I check the submit message, and it is correct, I can. Yeah, the submit message is incorrect. I think I just copied over the version you sent me from Cockatrice, which put the sundown in the sideboard. I just didn't think
in
about
that case, that's
Sanctum.
obviously a mistake. No, I think that's just straight up an obvious mistake that will happen. So I don't see a reason why we shouldn't rule that towards in favor of you.
Well, go ask
Like I
Herber.
told you specifically the sideboard was missing 2 cards, and there were 2 instances of Sundown in that message, so you should have gotten it. I think we're
yeah.
done with that.
Okay, moving on. Herber's deck.
Herber's deck is very funny.
Pollution.
Pollution effectively becomes a rule of law the longer as the game continues. It also generates a lot of vertices that you can use in conjunction with Nilshroud Mockery to just cast any one of your spells over and over again.
Ideally a board wipe. Perhaps a way to 4.
There is also notably a hard lock with Nilshroud Mockery, in that if you do that with your, make your vertices, and you choose that to go in the command zone, you can just every turn play one of these and generate so many vertices to the point where like you just kill with an XX arbitrarily large XX serpent, or it's not a serpent, it's a horde, right?
Well, they also get the vertices, so.
This is
I think
true.
more accurate is that if you Nilshroud Mockery the pollution and it effectively becomes a rule of law, you could Nilshroud Mockery one of your counter spells,
There we go.
and they
And
affect
make the counters.
play the game anymore.
You can
Well,
also
Memory Hold
Nilshroud
is
Mockery a closure.
well, closure
Evil.
can't get around like haste creatures or like direct damage.
True.
Yeah.
But also gets around them playing just multiple things.
Which
It
they
seems
can't
that
do
with
because
these,
you have so many copies of Suffocating Pollution.
True. Way to 4 is
it's clear
funny,
that these
Echo.
lists, they needed to be playing Dogged Pursuit. This would have resolved this problem. Simple.
Is Dog in Pursuit a cannon card? I forget.
Yes, it is. It's just
Oh,
drain
right, it's
one
the
every turn.
nickel one.
It's a 4-mana drain one.
It's the nickel one.
To be fair, for a while, Drakesteel Effigy kind of was just a Dogged Pursuit, but I didn't want to say that at the time because I would have exploded.
I mean, Drakesteel Effigy is Dogged Pursuit now
It's
because
still
you get card
Dogged Pursuit.
advantage. Okay,
Anyways,
back to pollution.
the funniest thing about Herber's list is that Herbert is not playing 26 lands, but is instead playing 25 lands. This actually will come up, by the way, in the games that Herbert plays. We talked about
Also,
this.
the mana seems horrible
Yeah.
in this deck. Like horrible.
Which card?
The
Mana.
mana.
Oh, the
Mana
mana base?
base.
Like you need black on turn 1. You need red black and also blue on turn 2. You need triple black on turn 3. It just seems brutal. Double
Well, you
blue
need
on turn
triple
4 and
black.
5.
You need triple black on turn 4. Not 3.
That's what I said, right?
You said
Oh, I
triple
thought
black
I
on
said
turn
4.
3. But yeah, like even then, it's still incredibly brutal, which part of this job.
If I remember correctly,
In
the
games
way
2 and
that
3, I
Herbert
will be
plays
fixing
this-
them because they will be putting their Sanctum basics into their main deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
There is. I know how Herbert is planning to play this out. It is playing a Beloved World, setting it to blue, and then setting it to black, and praying that that works.
Yeah, this is how Hereford plays.
It will not. It will not play. It will not work against Kagane specifically.
So
Yeah.
game 1, if I can control their mana, I win. Game 2, I have to board that stuff out because I will be fixing their mana instead of destroying it.
Yeah. The most interesting thing in here, I think, is actually Maralai. Which It turns out 3/2 that Dream Binders every turn is good.
I like how you used the Voyager term instead of anything else.
I mean, anyone who's played Voyager for up until like last month has from Dreamwinder, so we all understand.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to add.
Okay,
Oh, one minor note.
Stasis.
Painted distorter. Oh, okay.
Oh, you can say your note.
No, I just had like a syntactical thing. I'll bring it up later.
Oh,
Bring up now.
It should have an apostrophe. That's it.
that's it. Oh, Stasis, your deck.
Yep. So I'm new to the format, and usually a red-based aggro deck, red or green-based aggro deck is like the easiest thing to build when you're coming into a format. I was looking at like something to latch onto in terms of like direction for the deck, and that seemed like Sundown. Just like having the ability to restock every single game guaranteed is incredibly powerful. So I wanted a very, very low curve red aggro deck that could capitalize on that the most. And then I just kind of took a look at all of the threats and picked some ones that looked synergistic with each other, filled it out with some removal, and this is what I ended up with.
Yeah. It seems solid.
If there's anything that catches the eye, let me know.
Opener of Glass.
Thing of note, Shock Dial is not a May, so if you ever have Shock Dial,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So the entire deck is built around not having to kill your own creatures with Crocodile. Blaze Foxes has 2 toughness for that. Swift Paw Striker you can always flip into a 1/3 to prevent it from dying to Crocodile. And all of the other creatures have more than 1 toughness, other than Urdonic Attendant, which you're trying to flip.
What was the thought process on Heliac? Because we haven't really seen this card now. Like, it seems good, but what like specifically?
Yeah,
made
I
you
don't
wanna
know.
play
I was
it?
looking at the play rate, and it seems like just a very, very solid card. It's a threat and also potentially tempo positive removal. And it's also incredible with Crocodile in that you could just hit them for 5 on turn 2.
Yeah, it looks like it's only ever seen play in. Okay, that's great. Undefined.
What's funny, by the way, Stasis, is that like there kind of aren't that many people playing a red aggro list in general, especially like mono red aggro in Voyager. There just have been more synergy based decks that have been showing up. So it's very interesting to see your take on this. Opener of Glass, I think, is a good shout for this GP, especially concepts in general. It is a card that does prey against the damage-based board waves. It's a card that really kind of pushes what I would argue is like the best removal color in Voyager right now, which is red. It pushes against a lot of their interaction. And then finally, it is also just like a haste card that hits your opponents before they can stop you, which is important.
It's just incredible in any creature matchup. I mean, Boros Reckoner was an absolute menace in Standard during its tenure, and this is like Boros Reckoner but with haste. So I'd imagine this card.
Actually, it's Screaming
should
Nemesis
see play.
without the dumb for the rest of its game clause.
Sure. I think it's a little more directly comparable to Boros Reckoner, given the second ability. But yeah.
Also,
It's 1 less toughness and doesn't have a dumb clause, because why would a for the rest of its game effect ever be allowed to be printed?
I'm not sure why we're really talking about Nemesis. It's like a very different card with a different purpose. But anyway.
Because Nemesis was what inspired me to print that card.
Also, Nemesis is like more directly closer to the card, even if it's probably less comparable.
Anyway. Crocodile has some insane curves in this deck. with Blaze Foxes and with Heliac. It's also just nice to play on later turns because it sort of has haste in a weird roundabout way.
Do you have any way of getting black to just remove something from Brave?
No.
Nope. I think the impetus is a trap.
It also literally does not matter.
Yeah, like if you're trying to impetus it, you could just cast the card. It's a sorcery anyway. You could just cast it.
The impetus is not from hand.
From grave, yeah.
Impetus is from grave, yeah.
Yeah. Either way, it seems kind of irrelevant.
I love Artleby Gatekeeper.
Yeah, card's good.
Like, you can leave up an Artleby Gatekeeper if they have no creatures, which wasn't the case last GP.
Stasis, do you know what Artleby Gatekeeper is to do?
Could it target itself?
It could target itself.
Do you know what it
Yeah.
used to do?
Nope.
It cloned every single attacking creature, though it didn't give them +1/+0.
What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure that was a change we made like a year ago, or somewhere around there. It was a very early
I don't
change.
think the change log.
Damn. But yeah, it used to hit every single creature.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I am curious about Blaze Foxes in this deck. That's the card that I have the most questions about. I'm not sure how easy it is to get to complexity.
You
I
don't
mean,
have any
Blaze Fox is
complexity.
just really, really good with Crocodile.
Yeah, you play Blaze Foxes in Crocodile aggro because it's just the best thing to be
Yeah, that
doing
was
with
the idea.
Crocodile. And like,
but I do
ideally-
want to enable it if possible, and the deck has some ways of doing that. I mean, it's an incredibly low curve, and it has Swift Paw Striker and some reserves cards for activated
Yeah.
abilities.
I don't know if aggro really has super good ways of like quickly ramping up complexity at the like current moment.
Well, for aggro can get complexity easily. It's just not consistent at all.
Mm-hmm. It's probably a once or maybe twice a game thing because you're doing it by casting low drop spells, not activating repeatable abilities.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, moving on to
yeah.
Anything
I
you
didn't
want
have
to say
anything
about
to say.
anything about the sideboard?
The deck is a little bit weak to green-based creature decks, so I wanted a lot of 4 toughness removal in the board, so I added Trounce, Torch, and Cascading Coherency Failure. And naturally, there's not a single green creature deck at the entire tournament, so that went well.
There's one green deck.
Yep.
Wow, this GP was lopsided in terms of colors, like insanely lopsided. One white
I don't
deck.
feel incredibly well positioned in this metagame, to be honest.
One white deck, one green deck.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue decks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red decks. 1, 2, 3 black decks, and 1, 2, 3. Wait, this might be the first time that silver is not the least represented color, and it's not even the second least. It beats out both green and white this GP. That's very funny. TVP, awaken.
I am here. However, I am on the train currently. So here's what I'm going to recommend. Whatever sound settings that you have, you're going to want to use them to remove the background sounds. So I will just do my best to be fast.
Background sound isn't even that bad.
This list was made both out of spite, rage, and something of the effect of I just kind of wanted a deck that worked. So I hard focused on getting the stack under control and then controlling the board with stuff like read the wing beats, having a powerful card like I can't remember the name of this card. It's the worm down there. Yeah, Wavehorn. And also just having some amount of late game
One card that I do just genuinely think is very underrepresented is Pathwrought Overseer. I am playing this for the explicit purpose of getting a 7-drop in the late game. That does help me against, you guessed it, green aggro,
This reminds
which is
me
not represented at all.
reminds me of Starseed
So,
Moon Queen.
Stasis, you and I are 2 for 2 for trying to stop green aggro and failing to find the green aggro. Mass Mutations 4x in the main deck rather than the board. I don't trust that I'll live through 4 or 5 creatures getting on the board. Even with Read the Wing Beats, I don't think I can beat that. So I'll need that kind of card, that kind of thing in the list. And then, of course, with 3 Drakesteel Effigies, I am simply just trying to do the Dogged Pursuit thing, where I also just get to get a little bit control of my deck
So
when I do draw.
Drakesteel Effigy's like horrible here, right? Because your mana base is this.
It's not actually an issue. If you note, even though I do only have 2 theoretical name stuff, I'm also running the Forest Wanderer Shrine, and this does get Drakesteel Effigy down to 3, which is completely fine for this deck because once I have reached high enough mana value, I kind of don't mind spending extra mana on my opponent's end step, especially if it means that I draw into something that I need on time. Disappointing
I
show,
will say
though.
I do think I agree that the mana base is misbuilt. Like
I
even
mean,
if
to
it's
be
not
fair,
horrible, it seems like it could be a lot better
TVP built
with
this in
some
like
utility lands.
TVP built this with the impression that he had more time to finish it up, and then the submission
Yeah,
deadline
Also,
passed, and he
while
wasn't able to fix it
incredibly
up.
poor headspace, like
There's also the fact that
Yeah,
I was under the impression that Ponza was just going to be a thing, so I just jammed as many basics as I could, so that I don't lose to Ponza. I think I still lose to Ponza because Ponza has creatures. The Formery in the sideboard, again, this was against green aggro. Stopping a threat would help me. Again, green aggro is not here. Show of Might is here specifically for reserves heavy decks, which is also absent here. And Swirling Moon is my shot in the dark. I am trying to completely turn off very greedy mana bases. This will help me against Herver specifically, I believe, and I think that's it. The Eternal Echo is here because aggro can die, actually, and this kills aggro with a single plus.
Eternal Echo is an insane life gain tool. Yep.
As for the Sanctum, there's nothing special here. Uh, for the most part, it is just a Marie Sanctum, three, uh, 3 realms, and the classic Wanderer Shrine, 2 sets of basics. It's doing one thing, and that's kind of it. If it is able to do the thing in game 1, it will not need to board much. I suspect Drakesteel Effigy will be coming out in most games, however.
So there was something I wanted to say, but I forgot about it. I forgot it. Oh yeah, you're only on 21 lands. What was the thought process there?
It is simple. I flood at 18 lands, so if I go to 21 lands, I will stop flooding. I'm really not joking. But no, really, the answer is because 21 lands lets me do back to market shenanigans, aka trying to find the second. Hopefully, I'm not keeping 1 land hands, but finding the third and fourth lands off of back to markets is usually what wins. Unweave gets me lands as well, and Disappointing Show just hard trades into 1 mana cards pretty efficiently, I would argue. So I'm not too concerned about having to have multiple sets of land drops. Also, it doesn't feel like there's enough space for it. I do agree that there should have been some amount of non-basics in this list, and I think Drakesteel Effigy ironically would have been the perfect set of cards to remove for it, while also directly synergizing with said non-basics. So a little bit of a catch-22 there.
Vertical shift is in there as well. We love vertical shift.
Draw 2, good. Bounce, good.
Any other notes from anyone?
I personally would not be running vertical shift in a sanctum with a bunch of lands in it, but that's just me.
Notably, the primary mode for this card is bouncing a non-land. That's what you should be doing in most games.
Oh, I just noticed the Voyager logo was like off again, and it's pissing me off. I forgot about that, and I just re-noticed it.
Anyway, it doesn't seem like we have any other thoughts on this deck.
Bye-bye, TVP deck. Do we have any thoughts you want to say about the GP?
I think Zangi's gonna win.
I agree.
Like, if we look at last GP, which I believe I forgot, Zangi performed like quite well. Finals,
And then got unlucky. That's really bad.
yeah, and also massively improved his deck this time around. Like, yes, Town Busybody got nerfed, but Zangi's not on Nerf Town Busybody, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're not on Nerf Town Busybody, and I'm not sure if you. I guess you would be on it over what's its name? Over Deep Mind Oracle, probably. But like, I don't think it actually cares too much about it. And like,
My
yeah,
deck is more of an experiment than like an actual effort to win the game.
yeah, but your deck actually seemed pretty good from what I saw against your games on versus TVP.
Yeah, it's like the deck. The goal of it is just to see how good Pawns is, but like I still built the deck to be able to win games, you know.
Yeah. I think Ponza is something that like we haven't been seeing. Like View Drifter's kind of been dropping off, I think, outside of like ploy abuse. And even then you're probably not facing it repeatedly too much. So people have been kind of going down on their basic counts, especially with Heart of Its Jaw falling out of favor. So it's definitely interesting. So who do we think is gonna face Zanky in the finals? AKA gets
I think you will.
Realistically, your list gets there. I can see Stasis's list get there, assuming that Stasis wins the game or wins this first round. Because I
think
do
I'm
think Stasis
heavily unfavored in this matchup.
I think it's
I think
probably
other decks.
it's I think it's either me or Cannon Tree, most likely.
I think my slide deck is probably the third best deck at this GP, but it's also just terrible into Zangi's deck specifically.
Yeah.
Just play better and you'll win.
I mean, if Zangi draws like the Ponza cards and doesn't draw the, 3 creatures for 2 mana repeatable value engine thing, then I got a chance.
Final question. What do we think the face card of this GP is?
Abrasive Trailblazer.
Abrasive Trailblazer.
Agreed.
Trailblazer.
There's not much competition. Yeah, I believe it's the most represented card as well. Maybe no, Naval Diplomacy might be higher. Naval Diplomacy or Negate might be higher. I'm unsure. Or Wisp
Negate
Speaker.
is one of my favorite staples of lists. Yeah, it is just fun that there's just 4 copies of Negate across multiple decks. I think somebody has 3 though. I forget who has 3 copies. But someone is playing 3. I think it's Silver.
Negate is probably the most played card, but if you count sideboards, but which is actually really cool. That Negate is genuinely good. Okay, any final thoughts before I end the recording?
No, I think we got a good look at this. The
I attack with his stream and activate his ploy ability.
Great. Well, it's about to be the end step, so